Letting you go was not a single moment, it was a slow, painful decision that grew heavier every day I loved you. I remember watching you talk about your dreams with eyes full of fire, while I stood there silently measuring myself against the life you deserved. I smiled, nodded, encouraged you, even though every word felt like a goodbye rehearsed too early. I convinced myself that real love meant stepping aside when your presence might hold someone back. That night, when I finally said the words that set you free, my voice stayed calm while my heart collapsed quietly inside my chest. You didn't understand at first. You searched my face for anger, for betrayal, for some hidden reason that would make my decision easier to accept. But there was none. I let you go out of love, not because I stopped caring, but because I cared too much. I believed that if I truly loved you, I had to choose your growth over my comfort. I told myself that pain was temporary, that love would survive even if we didn't. What I didn't know was how deeply silence could wound when the person you want to speak to the most is no longer yours. After you left, the world didn't stop, but my heart did. Mornings felt empty without your voice, nights felt endless without your warmth. Every small thing reminded me of you, the songs we shared, the places we laughed, the promises we never finished. I pretended to be fine for everyone else, carrying my heartbreak like a secret I wasn't allowed to confess. People praised my strength, but they never saw me breaking down alone, whispering your name into the dark like it might answer back. There were moments when doubt consumed me. I questioned whether love should ever require this much sacrifice. I wondered if I had confused fear with selflessness, if I had chosen the harder path just to feel noble in my suffering. Some nights, I almost called you, my finger hovering over your name, my heart begging me to undo everything. But I stayed silent, believing that interrupting your journey would be the cruelest thing I could do. I told myself our story had ended for a reason. I believed that love, if it was real, would not disappear, it would simply transform. I never imagined that love could be patient enough to wait, strong enough to return, or brave enough to lead you back to me one day. At that time, all I knew was that letting you go was the most painful act of love I had ever known. Life moved forward in quiet, unremarkable ways after you left, but inside me everything felt paused, suspended between what was and what might never be again. I learned how to wake up without expecting your message and how to fall asleep without replaying our last conversation, though neither came easily. The city felt larger, colder, as if it had expanded to make room for your absence. I walked familiar streets like a visitor, noticing details I had ignored before, the way streetlights hummed at dusk, the way cafes closed their doors too early, the way people laughed without knowing how fragile joy could be. I told myself this was growth, that this ache was the price of loving deeply, but some days it felt less like growth and more like surviving a quiet storm no one else could see. Time did what it always does, it softened the sharpest edges while leaving the bruise intact. I heard pieces of your life through others, fragments that reached me like echoes. You were chasing what you always wanted, you were doing well, you were smiling again. Each update landed differently. Relief came first, because knowing you were okay meant my decision hadn't broken you. Then pride followed, because I had loved you enough to let you become who you were meant to be. And finally, there was longing, the kind that doesn't ask to be satisfied, only acknowledged. I celebrated you in silence, raising invisible toasts to your victories, even as my own nights stretched long and empty. There were moments when memory ambushed me without warning. A song on the radio would carry your laughter into my chest. A familiar scent would pull me back to a night when everything felt possible. I learned how grief could be triggered by beauty just as easily as by loss. I would pause, breathe, and remind myself why I chose this path. Love, I told myself, is not possession. Love is not fear dressed up as devotion. Love is the courage to step aside when someone's future deserves more space than your heart can offer at the time. Repeating these truths didn't erase the pain, but it gave it meaning. I tried to move on, or at least I tried to look like I had. I met people who were kind, attentive, interested in knowing me, and I treated them with respect and honesty. Still, my heart remained careful, guarded in a way it had never been before. Loving you had taught me how powerful connection could be, and losing you had taught me how devastating it was to pretend that connection could be replaced. I wasn't closed to love, I was simply aware of its weight now. Every smile carried responsibility. Every promise felt sacred. I refused to offer what I couldn't fully give. On the hardest nights, regret crept in quietly, asking questions I didn't want to answer. What if I had stayed? What if love didn't require distance to grow? What if I had underestimated us? I let those questions exist without letting them control me. Somewhere deep inside, beneath the doubt and longing, there was a steady belief that if our love was real, it would find its way, whether back to me or towards something even greater than I could imagine. I didn't know then that love was already walking a long road back, carrying lessons neither of us could have learned by staying. The day you came back did not announce itself with thunder or music, it arrived quietly, almost respectfully, as if it knew how fragile I still was. I remember standing in line for coffee, distracted by thoughts I didn't bother naming anymore, when I felt something shift in the air. It was the kind of instinct you can't explain, the sudden awareness that something important is about to happen. When I turned around and saw you there, time didn't freeze the way movies promise it will. Instead, it softened. The noise around us blurred into a distant hum, and for a moment, all I could see was the person I had loved enough to let go, standing just a few steps away with the same familiar posture and a face shaped by time and courage. You said my name carefully, like you were testing whether it still belonged to you. Hearing it after so long felt like reopening a book I had never truly finished reading. I noticed the small changes first, the confidence in your eyes, the quiet strength in the way you held yourself. Then I noticed what hadn't changed at all, the way your presence calmed and unsettled me at the same time. We smiled like strangers who shared a secret neither dared to reveal in public. I wanted to reach for you, to close the distance that had once felt unbearable, but I stayed where I was, afraid that one wrong movement might shatter the fragile peace of the moment. We sat together and talked, cautiously at first, like people walking on glass. We spoke about ordinary things, work, travel, life, circling around the truth that lived between every sentence. I listened more than I spoke, learning who you had become during our time apart. You told me about the nights you doubted yourself, the days you felt lost, and the moments when you finally understood why leaving had been necessary. I realized then that distance had not erased us, it had refined us. The love we once shared hadn't disappeared, it had been transformed by experience, shaped into something quieter but far more resilient. When you finally spoke about us, your voice lowered, heavy with honesty. You told me that leaving taught you what staying never could, that love wasn't just about holding on but about knowing when to walk away and why. You admitted that you had been angry at first, then confused, and finally grateful. Hearing that didn't erase the pain I had carried, but it gave it purpose. For the first time, I felt seen not just as someone who loved you, but as someone who had trusted love enough to let it hurt. In that moment, the sacrifice I once questioned began to feel less like loss and more like preparation. As we stood to leave, there was a pause that said more than words ever could. The past stood behind us, full of memories that still mattered, and the future waited ahead, uncertain but inviting. I didn't ask you to stay, and you didn't ask me to promise anything. We exchanged a look that carried understanding instead of desperation. Love had found its way back to us, not as a demand, but as an invitation. And for the first time since I let you go, I felt something new bloom in my chest, not fear, not longing, but a quiet hope grounded in trust. Starting again did not feel like starting over, it felt like continuing a conversation we had paused mid-sentence. We didn't rush into labels or promises, and that slowness became its own kind of intimacy. Every meeting was intentional, every word chosen with care, as if we both understood how easily love could be damaged when handled without patience. I noticed how differently we listened to each other now, no longer waiting for our turn to speak, but truly hearing what was being said. The space between us, once painful, had taught us respect, and that respect softened every interaction. One evening, as we sat near a window washed in fading light, I finally told you the truth I had hidden for so long. I confessed how letting you go had nearly destroyed me, how I had questioned myself in the silence, how strength had often been an act one performed just to survive the day. My voice shook as I admitted that I had been afraid, not of losing you, but of being the reason you never reached the life you wanted. You listened without interrupting, your hand steady over mine, grounding me in a way that felt both familiar and new. When you spoke, your honesty matched mine. You told me that leaving had not been freedom at first, but loneliness disguised as independence. You described the nights you wondered whether love should feel so unfinished, the moments you realized that growth without connection felt hollow. Hearing that didn't make me feel victorious, it made me feel connected. We weren't two people correcting past mistakes, we were two people finally allowing vulnerability to lead instead of fear. There were still moments when doubt surfaced, quiet reminders of how easily love could slip through our fingers. Sometimes a pause in conversation felt heavier than it should, or a memory from the past cast a long shadow over the present. But this time, we didn't run from discomfort. We named it, acknowledged it, and stayed. Staying became our quiet rebellion against the version of ourselves that once believed distance was the only answer. I began to understand that love is not proven by how tightly you hold on or how bravely you let go, but by how honestly you choose each other when the moment demands courage. With you, love no longer felt like a fragile thing I had to protect from the world. It felt steady, grounded, and alive, something that could breathe without fear. For the first time, I allowed myself to believe that what we were building was not a repetition of the past, but a continuation shaped by everything we had survived. Looking back now, I understand that love asked something rare of us long before it offered us anything in return. It asked for patience when impatience would have been easier, and for trust when fear had every reason to speak louder. Letting you go was never about giving up, it was about believing in a future I couldn't yet see. I used to replay that moment in my mind, wondering if I had chosen the wrong path, if I had mistaken pain for purpose. But standing here now, with the weight of everything we survived behind us, I see that love was never lost, it was only learning how to return in a way that could last. There is a quiet strength in loving you now that didn't exist before. It lives in the way we disagree without tearing each other down, in the way silence no longer feels like abandonment but like rest. I notice it when we share ordinary moments, walking side by side, talking about nothing urgent, laughing without guarding our hearts. These moments don't beg to be dramatic, they don't need to prove themselves. They exist honestly, and that honesty feels like the greatest romance I've ever known. I no longer fear losing you the way I once did, because love is no longer something I am trying to hold together alone. Sometimes, when the world grows quiet, I think about the version of myself who believed love had to hurt this much to be real. I want to tell that version that pain is not the measure of devotion, and sacrifice is not meant to be endless. Love can be gentle without being weak. It can be steady without being boring. Loving you again taught me that the deepest connections don't scream for attention, they settle into the soul and stay. What we have now isn't fueled by urgency or desperation, it's built on choice, renewed every day we decide to show up for each other. I see now why love led you away before leading you back. We both needed to become people who could meet each other without fear, without expectation, without the pressure of unfinished selves. Distance taught us clarity, loss taught us gratitude, and reunion taught us that timing is not punishment, it's protection. Every step away from each other shaped the path that brought us back, stronger and more honest than we had ever been before. When I hold your hand now, I don't wonder how long it will last. I don't ask love to promise me forever. I simply let it exist, grateful and present. Letting you go was the hardest thing I ever did, but loving you again, after everything, is the most meaningful choice of my life. Love didn't just lead you back to me. It led us back to ourselves, to a place where staying finally feels like home.